Hey guys, it's Michael. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about cooking without fire. Sous vide is very popular right now. It's a way to cook food in a sealed bag in water. So the sous vide device will heat the water to the temperature that you want for your food. The sous vide is small and easy to pack and take on trips as long as you have access to a standard US outlet. It's a white plastic cylinder with a heater inside. It comes apart into multiple parts so it's easy to clean because it's in the water. You don't want it to grow any mold or anything. I'm really impressed with how quickly the sous vide can get water up to temperature. It only takes a couple minutes to get the temperature you need for a steak or a chicken to cook. And I found that it's pretty good at keeping the temperature consistent. A couple of extra features that the sous vide has is a clip on the back so it can attach to a container if it isn't magnetic. If it is magnetic, then it has a magnetic bottom that you can just sit on a pan and the sous vide will stay in place. The sous vide does come with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and more on that a little later. So one interesting thing about this device is it doesn't have any manual controls. You will need a cell phone or other device that can download the Joule app, because that is how you will be connecting and controlling everything on the device. I find that the app is pretty cool. It allows you to connect to the device and then set a temperature for whatever you'd like. So if I'm cooking a steak, I can set it to 125. It'll tell me, oh, this will take an hour and a half because I've chosen that it's frozen, so it will take a little longer than if I chose it was fresh. So there's lots of options to cook things the right way. There are some foods you can add to the water before you start the timer, and the sous vide will wait until it gets up to temperature before it starts the timer for your food. So that's a great way to know that your food is safe. If the food would not be safe getting slowly up to temperature in that way, then the app won't allow that option. The app has some really basic recipes in it, but I find they're actually really good. They have pictures of the food that you're cooking at different temperatures, so you can choose based on the picture if that is the rarity of the food that you want. So it makes it really easy to just jump in and get started. As long as you know the temperature you want your food to be, your food will never ever cook. Now there are limits to how long you should keep things in there because the texture of your food could change. Some advantages of sous vide cooking is that one, you're not cooking with fire, so there's not as much danger as using a stove or having a younger person in the household use it. It also seals in the juices so you get a much more flavorful meal and makes it easy to marinate something while it's cooking. Some people have an issue with the app not connecting. I haven't had that issue. I did have an issue where the router was on a 5 gigahertz network at one point, and the Joule does not work on 5 gigahertz, so I had to make sure that the 2.4 gigahertz network was available for it. But once I had that, it's not really a big issue. If you do have two people in the house, then you really don't want two different accounts connecting to the Joule. It's really only good with one account, so make sure that you can just share an account with another person in your household. It just makes it way easier. The timer is shared and you both get alerts if and when the food is ready. So that being said, one of the big cons is that there's no manual controls on this. It does have to work with your phone. You do have to be able to connect to it, and it may be a deal breaker if you don't have that option. So if you can't use a phone to connect to the Joule, this won't work for you. So one thing that's super cool about sous vide cooking is you can make all sorts of stuff. So the normal stuff that you make is, chicken, steak, just any kind of meat you want it done at a certain temperature or at a certain rarity, and it's really good at that. But you can also make sure that your hard-boiled eggs are never overcooked or undercooked. It can always be just the way you want once you kind of get that dialed in. And we've made yogurt in this, we've made cheesecake, so it just has all sorts of uses that you may not have thought of when you're doing some regular cooking. And the app has all of these recipes. It has a way to hard-boil eggs, it has a way to make these little cheesecakes, and they are delicious. Overall, I think this is a really great way to cook. It is super easy, it gets up to temperature quick, you always get the food at the perfect rarity that you wanted, and I've just really enjoyed having it. And I was not too excited about this whole sous vide craze. I got this as a gift for Christmas, and all of a sudden it's one of the most used devices in the kitchen. So definitely recommend it. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think it will change the way that you make meals throughout the week. And yeah, I'll have a link in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.